In this video, we are back to the usual video schedule now after a great weekend in Germany, where, as many of you know, I signed with Fanatec and picked up a brand new set of wheels and pedals. Well, it is now the time to break out the new equipment here on GT Sports and see what difference, if any, they make. Hey guys, Eerie is here and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, then subscribe now and click the bell icon so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. Now in today's video you join me here in qualifying for this, the latest FIA Nations Cup race. I'm door number 15 in this one and it's here in Japan at Tsukuba. And we're in the Cheetos Crisps, or Chips, depending on where you're from, Mazda touring car that arrived a couple of updates ago. Now this combination of a tight circuit such as this, without many overtaking opportunities and identical cars, is going to make qualification absolutely critical in this one. So my strategy here in quali, due to the tyre and fuel multipliers, was just to go out there and smash out as many fast laps as I could, and then come in for some fresh set of boots for one last final push in optimal conditions at the end of the session as time expires. Now it didn't take long to see the difference the new equipment made. I see an immediate improvement from the wheel and pedal set as I put in the fastest lap and put myself on provisional pole. Now that was until a blistering lap from the Portuguese driver that pushed me down to second. I then tried one last lap as I mentioned that I would earlier, but I was slower in sector 1 on this lap, so just pulled out of it, settled for the front row here and took that into the race. So here we are for the race then. I thought I'd spare you guys the intro, we've all heard that quite enough by now. So lined up in second thanks to our qualifying. Now after a huge pause, I don't know if anybody else got this, but we just sat here for absolutely ages, or at least it seemed like absolutely ages. But finally, after a huge pause, the lights come on. This is a standing start of course, so I'm holding down the car on the handbrake and turning the traction control to 1 to limit wheel spin. So we get off to a good start here. I flick the traction control off as soon as I know there's going to be no wheel spin. The Portuguese guy here thinks about coming across to block me into turn number 1 and squeeze me. I also think myself about doing a torpedo-esque move into turn number 1, but I pulled out of it following my move last time out at Interlagos, which upon reflection I felt pretty guilty about. But you live and you learn, so I'm not going to dwell on that one. I've got this race to concentrate on here around Tsukuba, as I've said before. So things are going well at the moment. You can see up ahead that the Portuguese guy is beginning to pull out a bit of a lead already, and there's someone right behind me, the Greek there in third. So coming through the penultimate corner here, it's so important to stay in the slipstream of the car in front down this back straight before this really quite tricky right-hander, especially in cars like this which are on racing, not even racing, they're on comfort soft tyres, so it makes the turn in and the speed that you carry in absolutely critical. I get a big old slide there as I come out the corner, and as we start lap number 2 coming into turn number 1, and despite being 3/10 away, the Greek is going to try it up the inside. Now that is fine because I allow myself to drift wide here, holding the inside line into the hairpin after these S's here. But keep your eye on the radar, he is going to lose his place to the German. But if we keep our eyes here into this right-hander, he's going to lob it back up the inside into the next corner, keeping his place, which makes my spidey senses tingle a little bit. I get a little bit nervous as I'm in a great position here. I'm in P2 with 15 on the door, but this reckless braking from the Greek behind could put pay dirt to all of that, but I guess we will see. The eagle-eyed among you as well would have seen in that penultimate corner there, we almost got hit again. He flashed through the radar, so that just adds to my anxiety. And meanwhile, after all that was going on and the slight battle we had there, the leader has managed to scarper off into the distance. Coming into lap number 4 now, despite me putting in my fastest lap of the race so far, the leader is 1.7 seconds ahead. Only really a mistake from him here is going to bring us into contention for the win, I think, in this one. So my attention is now going to turn to consolidating this second position. Coming into turn number 1 here, perhaps inevitably, we're going to get contact. We're going to get pushed wide onto the exit, onto the dirt, and he's almost ahead into the hairpin here as we come through the S's. But continuing on with the theme, he's going to brake too late again and loses his place to the German. But get your eye back down on that radar, he's going to do exactly the same thing into the next corner to take his place back. There's some serious deja vu going on here, and as we continue to battle, the leader just continues to pull away. Over 3 seconds up the road now. And if you check out the track map there in the top right, there is a queue of cars forming behind. So I'm going to try and get my head down here to try and break the slipstream of the Greek behind and get out of the danger zone. Because this isn't my first rodeo, I fear a punt or something similar could well be inevitable. We rejoin the action here on lap number 7 and I called it. Coming into the penultimate corner here, the inevitable happened. I always knew it was on the cards around here. I get punted, I lose second here and fall all the way down to 6th. Now initially I thought it was the Greek who, due to his previous driving displays and his really late braking, just punted me to get the position. But I was there and had a look at the replay and you'll see that he is in fact hit up the arse himself by the German, and therefore he only hit me as a result. Now as you can imagine, I wasn't very happy about this at the time. I'm sure pretty much everybody can understand that, but I took a deep breath, I woosah'd and remembered my door number versus my position. We are still way higher. Well, not as high as we should be after that, but we are still way higher than the game expects us to be. So thinking about the larger end goal here of getting back to A+, we should be fine here. Also, the 4 in front are battling and will be holding each other up, so there should be an opportunity here as long as I keep my head to recover a bit and maybe get a place back or 2. And this opportunity that I'd hoped for is actually going to arise quicker than I thought. So the German here, who was responsible for the Greeks' punt on us, is trying to make a move on the Brit. The Brit is going to squeeze him, which is going to make the corner angle more acute for both of them when they get there, meaning they cannot take it as quickly. The Brit there finds himself on the outside. He's going to be pushed wide, allowing me to sneak up the inside. I made sure that I kept it tight there so that the Brit had room and isn't forced off the track, and we're just about going to get it stopped into turn number 1. There's some slight contact with the car in front, but no harm done, and we are back up to 5th place. While I'm lapping here and trying to hold on to this 5th place, as promised in the title, I wanted to give you all my initial thoughts on the new wheel and pedal set. These are linked in the description down below if you want to go check those out for yourself. But the wheel, for those who don't know, is the CSL Elite wheelbase and the McLaren GT3 rim combo. And this, I can say confidently, is an instant upgrade from my existing G29. I felt instantly at home using this wheel. The wheel is more ergonomic, all the buttons are within easy reach, and the force feedback is just delivered so much more smoothly and realistically, allowing me to, number 1, feel slides earlier so I can push harder coming into and out of corners, and 2, if I do find that I've overcooked it, I can recover, reducing my chances of binning it. So wheel set absolutely spot on at this early stage in my view. And moving on to the pedals, which are the CSL Elite load cells. Now these are going to take a little bit more time to get used to, because I'm going from a inverted commas normal set of pedals to a load cell, which means the brake application is measured by force now, not travel. To describe this, my old G29 brake pedal felt like a clutch on a normal manual or stick shift for my American viewers car with a really long travel range. Now this pedal is like pushing my foot up against a brick wall. There's very little travel, just like they have in a Formula 1 car, but it is so much more sensitive, allowing you to be way more precise. So this is naturally going to take some time getting used to, but overall, after one iRacing stream and this race here on GT Sport, I have been very impressed. I feel quicker, I feel more in control, and I'm sure there'll be some bumps in the road, but I'm 100% confident that this upgrade to Fanatec will make me a quicker driver and make the goal of getting back to A+ that little bit easier. After I've been chatting away and giving you my initial thoughts on the Fanatec gear, we find ourselves coming through the final corner here and bringing home 5th place. So not bad all in all. The race result wasn't quite what I wanted. After the quality that we had, I felt we could give so much more and get so much more out of this race, but never mind. We've still managed to gain 800 odd points despite the issues in that race, bringing us up to 41,463 points now. And as I mentioned earlier, I also expect to get faster and faster as I get more experience and more comfortable with the wheel and pedals, but this result gets us ever closer to the goal of getting back to A+. And for now guys, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.